Hello, everyone, and welcome to a very special Samhain recording where instead of the usual weekly tarot guidance, I would like to do something a little bit special. But before, no, I actually planned to, celebrate and put on a mask and stuff like that. But then it came to me that perhaps this is the only day of the year when the world is celebrating me, also me, the mystic, the astrologer. That's very much part of whatever people celebrate. So if other people kind of dress up as me, I don't have to dress up, do I? So anyway, I would like to, of course, invite the spirits of the ancestors with us here to give us a message, to give us a guidance, or whatever they would like to say, because ultimately, if there is no time and at eclipses and very strongly karmic periods, we feel that there is no time that very much stronger than, other periods, other times. So basically, everything that our ancestors have done, lived, embodied, their principles, their actions, their passions, of course, they kind of live on within us because our vessel is their creation, and whatever they have lived, they're written into their genes, thus our genes. So one sometimes does think how much of our lives, of what we call destiny, of what we call life path is truly our own, and how much was already written willingly or unwillingly for us by our ancestors, may that be like very close ancestors, members of family or our genealogical tree, but it can be simply just people of the place, land, nation, whatever where we belong to. So yes, moments like this one, 2022 Halloween, Samhain, might make us think about what truly is choice and freedom. Anyway, let us call the ancestors here and let them have a word. So, this is my small altar. So then let's invite the spirit of the ancestors, the powers beyond the veil, and allow them to have a saying, a message perhaps. So we have the Queen of Cups, we have the King of Wands, the Strength, Eight of Wands, the Moon, Queen of Wands, and Knight of Swords. Well, this is a little bit interesting because the only valid cards here are actually these, and two of them are major arcana. The courtship cards, well, in this case, I do believe they just represents the ancestors themselves. The Queen of Wands, the Queen of Cups. So the energy of the divine feminine. Uh, the queen energy ultimately represents motherhood, and this kind of appeals to the energy of all mothers. So a part of the ancestors who are here are definitely mothers, very, very strong, passionate females, regardless of what their role was, because this does not represent royalty, because the queen, it represents rather royalty over there. And over there, a truly devoted mother becomes an elevated soul, an elevated female being. Why? Because that's the true work of a mother. And not necessarily, ruling over people. So, yes, strong, strong, strong female presence. And of course, then we need to birth something new in our lives, in our souls, psychologically. New plan, new work, new job, new career, whatever it is, new relationship. We do need the strength, the determination, and the wisdom, the genetic, innate wisdom of our female ancestors, of the land, even. Because this might not necessarily be just your closest relatives who are on the other side. These are, souls which shaped the land, the mothers of the land, so to speak. Then we have the King of Wands. This means, you know, true warrior energy, where these queens were protected by their kings. So this represents to me family, unity, communion, where, and of course the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is very relevant because it represents the male intelligence. It represents the true power of the mind over matter. So this basically means the cocktail. This is what our ancestors had, that they build everything. The strong embodiment of the female, but also the strong embodiment of the male. And as you see, we have every element except the earth element, but the earth element is us, so it cannot be here. And yes, if we unite our forces, if, look, the Queen and King of Wands, the two hemispheres of our brain, the duality that lies within us, but if it acts in unison, if it acts in perfect alliance, it is truly already a sacred will. Because how does anything get born here on earth? When the male and female kind of meet. And of course, this can just mean the energy. It doesn't have to be, as I said, how it represented here on earth physically, but birth needs birth. And the Knight of Swords, the direction, the wisdom, the embodied emotional empowerment of the Queen of Cups, because the Queen of Cups, her sheer hope of new life is enough for that new life to have almost a guarantee that it comes down on earth. So childbirth and creation and birthing anything is also an emotional, spiritual work, because one has to be born in one's heart first before it is born in body. And then the strategy, then the strength of the divine masculine, the mental strength, where if the female element gives ambition, but it also gives nourishment, nurture, continuity, and the male element is so ready to act, if there is a sense of direction, everything goes basically better than planned. So this is already a guidance, better said, for us to look at how we can coexist with each other, what we have in common, how we make each other's lives beautiful and not necessarily the opposite. Because this is what our ancestors have done in every moment of crisis. They found unity midst of chaos and strife and conflict. They found understanding, alliance, devotion, and that kind of shaped everything. That shaped the future. It was not really the big dream. It was not really the big plan. It was not really the undying, ideal. That was part of it. But the true concrete, the glue, it was simply the love, the understanding, the acceptance, the tolerance, the willingness, the King of and Queen of Cups, Wands, to continue, to survive, even if that means the hardest thing, putting differences aside. Surviving, the hardest part in surviving is not the food or recuperation or whatever, the doom and gloom. No, 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 no. The hardest, and for some people, unfortunately, the ultimate impossible part is simply to put differences aside And that is what always defeats us. Yet the ancestors tell us that we must not allow that to defeat us, for look what is strength. Strength in unity, strength in love, strength in understanding. 8 of Wands moving, fast energy, quick building, quick communication, people connecting, finding one another. When there is a desire of unity in heart and spirit and mind, then reality follows. Quick movement, and this might represent December. Big things come in December or in the beginning of the winter, and the moon. The lunar eclipse, of course, will bring us a lot of new and fresh, and we need to use that as an opportunity, because the strength card also sometimes says, don't be, how should I say, overshadowed. Don't be intimidated by the quantity of whatever is incoming, flowing in. May it be events, communication, news, information, work activity, because it is coming. The Eight of Cups. Time to abandon that which is simply not working and will not work in our lives. So do not be afraid to abandon the false, the old, the bad, the stale, the hurt, the pain, and the fool. Well, needless to say, this is self-explanatory. After this eclipse, we must prepare ourselves spiritually, psychologically, to begin anew one way or another, because maybe this refreshes the very soul itself, the deep core of the soul. And the moon, Pisces energy, Jupiter, and re-entered Pisces. Things are gonna unfold. The Five of Pentacles and the Ace of Swords reversed. This is very simple. Tough times might be ahead, Five of Pentacles. Let's face it. But it's not our own. Our willingness simply makes hardship not feel as hardship to us. So that means the energy of the Five of Pentacles is passed on to who needs the hardship, who is afraid of the hardship, who is choosing to be necessarily sad because their plans are not perfect. This is where we need to be different right now, because this Ace of Swords reversed also represents that big news, big shock, big revelation is upcoming. There are gonna be bad news on the world stage, but guess what? For us personally, that's the most wonderful news, because this is how we birth something new. And any other, the Hermit reversed. We're not really alone. Sometimes it may feel as if we're alone, but we're not really alone. This is where we're just in the right, in the truth, in doing that which we must do for ourselves. And this is where some people will need to stop their service, will need to take a break from whatever they are doing passionately, intensely. So for some people, there might be a break upcoming. 10 of Swords reversed, Six of Pentacles, Ace of Cups. The break due because something that you almost are held, 1,000,000% that is lost, that you already accept. It's lost, it's fine, I'm okay with it, bye, I moved on, regardless of how severe this is, because for some people this can be a severe injustice and still it's okay. Well, it's not over, because finally, one way or another, you're getting what you deserve. And this is perfectly valid collectively. Amongst the bad news, there will be the greatest and best possible news. So I would also like to pull just one card for the lunar eclipse, even though that's silly because it's hand in hand with Uranus, so cards won't work. Three of Cups. Yes, this kind of means let us stay inspired. Hangman reverse. Let's be lost in faith, in hope, in the beauty of living. Even in moments of chaos, uncertainty, hardship, there can be even more beauty than in times of peace. If you look at the greatest artistic or philosophical or any kind of symbols that nobles, royalties, emblems of states, and what cities, whatever, these symbols, how much of that contains elements of life and death at the same time? And that's not a coincidence. This is always part of our world, of our existence, of our lives, that beauty goes hand in hand sometimes with destruction, with bad news. But isn't that the most perfect cradle for something new, for new love, for miracles, for dreams to come true? So the Hangman reversed. Being lost, and of course Mars square Neptune, how can we not be lost, has its good sides to it. Yeah, 10 of Cups. So okay. Something's coming. But this is spiritual, psychological, relational, karmic. So let's not take this palpably, but something will feel so completed in our hearts. Oh. Sorry, these cards just... So I would like to use another deck. And any guidance. What it is that we should do. Chariot, 5 of coins reversed. 6 of coins reversed, 10 of coins, 2 of wands reversed. This is pretty. As guidance, move forward. Do not look back. If you do not look back, 5 of coins reversed, 6 of coins reversed. The past, this time only, cannot follow you. If you do not look back, this cannot be gifted to you. If you reject suffering or whatever the disease, the illness, whatever endangers you right now, may it be spiritual poverty, emotional, poverty, whatever. If you do not fear it, if you do not let it in feeling and emotion and spirit rule you, it will not be part of your life, even if the whole world is burning. 10 of coins, and that is that is exactly what grounds you. The fear of this will be replaced by something that you've been asking for, pursuing, wanting for a long time. So, and another deck of cards. Sorry. Expansion. No, trusting your own understanding. Exactly. Is not love, faith, ideal, hope, and basically the magic of interhuman connection or human and spirit connection. Is that not really just your own? You might have learned it from someone, let's say, but in truth, is that not just your own unique dimension and no one else's? And if that expands, well, can imagine that basically life will show you exactly where pause and acceptance of love. life will show you exactly where you've always been right. Usually it's the other way. We're always wrong, not so wise, impulsive, blind to this and that. So no matter, in the earthly realm, if you're not someone like the Buddha or Christ, chances are you will get everything wrong always. And yes, that's part of we here on earth get everything wrong always, and that's the beauty of it, because everything wrong is always everything right. So that's how we kind of learn on a soul level, incarnation after incarnation, to trust perfectly. That's how really we evolve, not by knowledge, no, by perfect trust. So the chances are all of us collectively will be leaped into that, not into perfect trust, one step closer than before towards perfect trust, maybe one step closer than humanity in this cycle of civilization has ever been before. We can compare ourselves to Atlantis and Lemurians and stuff like that, but we can compare ourselves to at least the ancient Egypt. And I don't know why, including myself, revered them so much, because they were monsters. All of them. Basically, their story was monstrous. Every ancient civilization story was abominable, monstrous, horror. Why do we revere them? Because of their knowledge? But didn't their knowledge doom them? So let's be proud of who we are in our vulgarity right now, in our lack of knowledge, in our primitive state, and do not wish to have the knowledge of those who doom themselves with it. So, exactly, this is where also Scorpio sees in past lives. If past lives might come back, let's change the attitude. It's not good. It's something that was. Good or bad, it doesn't matter. What you are and who you are and what you do now matters. And chances are, that which you do not have within you, you can just create and not really siphon back from the past. So it will be a great spiritual lesson, maybe even a slap for all of us as a species, whatever is coming. But ultimately, look how much good and promise of really a much better close future, at least emotionally, there is for all of us. So thank you so much for listening. Thank you for all the love, all the appreciation, and basically for keeping me alive. Thank you all the ancestors, all the spirits, all the guides, and of course the source itself for helping us all throughout the year. This is where we also give our offerings, our appreciation, our love and gratitude to our ancestors, and may they help us to, be proud of whatever we're working at the moment, for us to be strong, for us to make them proud and continue their work, but not their mistakes. Exactly, and neither maybe their virtues, but rather to be ourselves and do something with everything that they have already given us, and that kind of resumes to our lives and not really anything else. So thank you everyone, wishing everyone a blessed Samhain, Day of the Dead or Day of All Souls, and until next time, bye for now.